All right, just an injury update. Crowder will be limited today with the calf, questionable for the game, and that would be it for this week. So with that, any questions you guys have?
Adam, are you guys doing anything differently this week? Just knowing you have a second cross country trip coming up in less than a week.
Most of it was more of a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday type deal of just making sure, trying to really emphasize the whole, hydration, nutrition, recovery, rest, kind of just getting our body clocks basically where they needed to be. And then, we cut a few things out on Wednesday just to try to shorten the day up. And then Thursday with what happened weather-wise, that kind of backed some things up for us. It seemed like the guys, especially on Thursday, we had the energy level was good. It felt like we were back to normal. Now, we got to, head out there again today. It's really a process of doing a good job on the flight as far as eating the right things, putting the right things in your body, making sure that we're hydrating, all those things that you need to do to make sure by the Sunday we're in good shape.
Hey, Adam, you go back a long ways with Van Jefferson. And I just kind of wonder what's it like for you to see him in the league now, and just as a follow-up, how special this is for Sean, and if you and Sean have talked about it.
We haven't talked about it this week. It's weird because I'm trying to remember the first time when I met Van, and he might have been like 7 or 8, and I just remember. We were in Detroit, and his dad just killing him he'd be having him out on the practice field and doing cone drills and just, you would think that he was yelling at like a third-year player in the NFL. And I'm like, well, if there's one thing I know, this kid's going to be tough. I know that for a fact. So, to see him get where he is right now is, it's really cool to see. He's such a good kid. He works hard. Him and his dad are super close. And, for him to have, Sean to fall back on and talk to is that's something that's invaluable for a young player in the NFL.
Is there any particular reason why you and Sean haven't talked about it at all, or is it just a matter of just a lot of the shit going on?
No, it's we got so much stuff going on right now, and I don't know. I don't want to get him all riled up. We'll probably talk more about it after the game.
Can you imagine how special this is for him? Seeing this and putting yourself in his shoes if you were, looking across the sideline at your son.
Yeah, Sean's wired a little different. He's going to be so focused on kind of what we're doing. I don't know how much he's really going to be paying attention to what they're going to be doing on offense. But I'm sure he'll glimpse up there every once in a while just to see what's going on. But I'm sure, I can't imagine how that is. Be looking on the other sideline, knowing that your son's out there on the field, playing in the NFL, getting to where he is right now, and being on the team that he's on too. He's on a good team that, there's a lot of good players for him to learn from.
Thanks, man.
Adam, with Foley going on the COVID list, could you so obviously he's not going to play on Sunday. Did he break some sort of COVID protocol to end up on that list?
No. It was just a close contact with somebody outside the building. But, it was nothing that he did wrong.
That in itself is not any sort of violation, just close contact.
Not that I know of. That'd be like if my wife had it or one of my kids. The fact that he was able to report it and know that he has a close contact.
Mm-hmm. So how do you replace, obviously he's a key guy in the interior of your defense. So is that a committee approach, or how do you go about replacing him?
That's a tough one to replace. We were getting low on bodies as it is. We'll have to, yesterday kind of trying to move some pieces around, trying to get guys rotated in there. It is, it's kind of by committee as it is. Some guys are just we're gonna have to step up and fill the void.
Adam, as far as the other guys on the D line, as of now, everybody okay as far as testing?
Yes.
Adam, what kind of challenge has it been with the offensive line and the lack of continuity there? I think you guys are on your 8th different starting combination. Just what's been the challenge there with the guys moving in and out?
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you go through, that kind of rotation up front, I mean, it's not easy. I guess I'm looking at it as like, hey, this is the second week in a row we're together, so that's a good thing. I think the more of these guys practice together, that's going to help us. I think they're doing a good job trying to communicate with each other, make sure they're all on the same page, eliminate mental errors. I think we're getting those are definitely down. It's just now it's about going against a really good defense front. We just got to make sure that we do a good job getting guys covered up.
And Connor's been the one guy that started all 13 games there. Just what have you seen from him this season?
Don't jinx it. He's done a good job. I mean, very knowledgeable as far as just football in general. He thinks things through. He does a great job of communicating with the rest of the line, with the quarterback. His preparation is outstanding. I've been really impressed with that. He's definitely got a game plan when he goes into all these games as far as kind of knowing what the play caller is going to call, how he needs to kind of operate up front in conjunction with that, and then communication with the quarterbacks is really outstanding.
Adam, do you think the issues you guys had in run defense last week was a one-off thing, or is that something you're concerned about?
I think there was definitely a couple of the big plays were plays that we definitely could have negated. It was one guy making a mistake that just opened up a huge hole to where, I think you could have got 10 to 12 yards in some, 2 of those runs. So, we have to, it's just the whole, when we talk to our defense about everybody doing their job, making sure that we're run fits are right, we're sounding as far as who's got what gap. If we do that, that's where we have our success. It just takes one guy to kind of go off the rails and do something different. And all of a sudden, hey, now our linebacker's put in a bad spot. Or, we have a misfit. Now our D-line's in a bad spot. So we have to make sure that we're doing a good job of all 11.
Adam, you haven't seen Kaz's burst. I don't think he would have got 10 to 12 on any of those runs. But
I was giving
I'm just checking on a report. So Jordan Jenkins, there was a report that said he's having surgery on Tuesday coming up, right, for a labrum and a dislocation.
Yeah, I knew he was going to have surgery. I wasn't sure of the date, so I'm glad that you informed me of that, Rich.
It wasn't me. It was Ian Rappaport. So I'm
glad that you cite your sources. It's good reporting.
Some of us do. So, okay, that's it.
Adam, I was just reading a story from one of the Rams reporters about Kupp and Woods, and their yards after catch this year are pretty crazy. Just, how much of a challenge is that for you guys to get those guys down once they do catch the ball?
It's tough. I mean, they're up there as far as an entire team. That's where they cause so many teams problems is the screens, however they get them done. I mean, they got a million different ways that they do their screen game. They get their ball in their hand and they break tackles. They do a good job setting up blocks when they do run their slip screens. Like, we have to do a great job of gang tackling. There can't have a bunch of missed tackles this game unless it's just the floodgates open up, because that's how those 2-yard throws become 30-yard completions. And we have to make sure that we do everything we can to eliminate or at least minimize those as much as possible. We got to get these guys on the ground. It's got to be a full defensive effort. We got to run to the football. We got to gang tackle. We got to make sure that we don't allow these guys to get explosive plays on short throws.
Take a couple more.
I know we've asked you this pretty much every week for 2 months, but how'd you see the team bounce back this week?
I think Wednesday we were a little sluggish. I know that trip that's a long trip, just trying to get guys kind of back on schedule and things like that. Thursday, there was a noticeable uptick in energy level, execution practice. Like, I felt when we left practice yesterday, I felt good about, kind of where we were at. And then today I expect our guys to come out and really fly around and do a good job in practice today.
So your sense is these guys are still present. They're not dreaming about where they're going to be on January.
I haven't seen that. I think guys they've done a good job of resetting and getting ready to go to the next one. They know what kind of challenge we have this week. They know how we have to play. They know this has to be, a well-played complementary football game for us to put ourselves in position in the fourth quarter.
Adam, as far as Ficken, is he ready to go, or do you need to see him through?
I mean, it looks like it, unless we have some kind of setback today.
Just don't write about him, Wizard.
Yeah. One of the guys, some fans have asked about is Cam Clark. What has his development been like this year? What have you seen? What does he need to do?
Yeah, I mean, we keep sliding him in. I think this week we had him rolling in there, because some of our guys, the older guys, we try to maybe give a rep off here and there in the offense, defense stuff, and trying to slide him in there, just trying to get him in position to where when it's his opportunity, he's ready to go. Especially up front and some the interior stuff. There's a lot of things going on in there, a lot of calls that need to be made. Got to be on it with Connor. So, you don't want to just throw a rookie in there and he's not ready to go. I think he's done a good job of preparing himself. It's just all about, hey, just keep getting those reps. I mean, the way things are going, after all these games, we need him to be ready because, he could be the next guy up.